The hand of God is all over everything that's ever happened in this nation. We all know that George Washington himself was a miracle. I mean, shot 4 times, bullet holes in his jacket, and shot off of his horse twice, in all kinds of battles, in all kinds of trials, all kinds of troubles, and yet he came through all of that and stood as what we call the father of our nation. There is no country like the United States of America because of our values. That's what's made us different, and it's what's kept us through every difficulty we face. We are different. We are exceptional because of the values that we hold dear. Now, George Washington experienced this in a very personal way, and one of my favorite stories about him is how when the British chased him out of Long Island and down through Manhattan and into New Jersey and finally running from them, he crossed the Delaware into Pennsylvania, and then on Christmas night, he had a revelation. In spite of the cold, in spite of the fatigue, in spite of the hardship, some of his men were walking in frozen, frost-biting weather in their bare feet. But he decided to turn around and go back across the Delaware and go into Trenton and meet the Hessians. He met them there and defeated them, and for the first time, people began to say, we could win. We could actually win. Now, why? Because he had faith in God. He knew that there was something larger going on than just him and just the ragtag group that he had with him. That he called it the hand of providence was guiding everything he did. And we know that in spite of losing battle after battle after battle after battle, he pressed on. He didn't get a salary, and sometimes he had to pay his men out of his own pocket. He struggled on and ultimately in Yorktown defeated the British and gave us victory. But you know, he did not give the glory to himself. And I know some people have written about George Washington as if he were, you know, just really playing to the crowd and just putting on a posture. No, I've read enough about George Washington to know enough about him. This was the measure of the man. And I believe he was like that because God called him and ordained him for that moment in our history. Now, here's what he said about his victory. He said, when the war was finally won, he said, I knew that Providence had a claim to my humble and grateful thanks for its protection and direction through the many difficult and intricate scenes which this contest has produced, and for the constant interposition on our behalf when the clouds were heaviest and seemed ready to burst upon us.